Hey, have you ever had one of those days, you're running around, you're busy from morning till night, and at the end of it all, you feel totally drained, but you don't feel like you actually accomplished anything important? Well, if that sounds familiar, this is for you. We're not going to talk about new apps or complicated productivity hacks. We're going to get into the simple, powerful logic that the world's most effective people use to run their day.
Let's just start right here, because this question really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? We all get the exact same 24 hours. So why does it feel like some people are totally in the driver's seat of their lives, while the rest of us are just kind of hanging on for dear life?
So, the very first thing we have to get straight is this: you don't need more time. Seriously, the whole idea that we're all just a couple of extra hours away from being successful, it's a total myth. The real problem is how we think about the time we've already got.
And this, right here, is the huge mindset shift. See, most of us are trying to manage the clock. We're trying to squeeze more and more stuff into every single hour. But the most effective people, they do the complete opposite. They don't manage time at all. Nope. They manage their decisions. They decide what is truly worth their attention and what isn't.
Okay, so this brings us to the first core principle. It's not about how much you can cram into your day, it's about how much you can protect your day from. Think of it like a defensive strategy. The real goal is to be super ruthless about what you say no to. I mean, just look at this contrast. Our natural instinct is to add more things to our to-do list, right? But a CEO's logic is all about subtraction. They are constantly asking themselves, what can I get rid of? They cut the meetings that go nowhere, they silence the constant pings and notifications, and they just get rid of tasks that don't really move the needle. That's how they create space for what actually matters. This right here, this might be the most powerful question you can ask yourself every single morning. Not what's on my giant to-do list, but what is the one thing that if I get it done will make today a win? When you can answer that, you get instant clarity. Everything else is just noise. And this is how you can tell the difference between that one thing and all the other stuff. Busy work, endlessly clearing your inbox. It feels urgent, it feels like you're being productive, but really, it's just filling time. Important work is the stuff that actually builds your future, like learning something new or really thinking about your strategy. It's often the harder thing to do, which is why we tend to put it off, but that's where all the real progress happens. All right, so figuring out your one thing is huge, but that's only half the battle. Now you actually have to do it. And that brings us to mastering your focus. This is where we learn that the quality of your attention is so much more important than the number of hours you work. So let's be clear, the whole idea of multitasking is a myth. It just doesn't work. Trying to do 5 things at once just means you're doing 5 things badly. The real secret to getting high-quality stuff done isn't working longer hours, it's working with this intense, uninterrupted focus. Seriously, 1 hour of that kind of deep work can be more powerful than an entire day of being distracted. And you don't need some complicated system to do this. It's actually super simple. Step 1, pick your one important task. Step 2, for about 60 to 90 minutes, you give it everything you've got. Phone off, notifications silenced, just you and the task. Then, step 3, when the time's up, you take a real screen-free break. Let your brain actually recharge. The magic here isn't how long you work, it's the intensity of the focus. Do this just once or twice a day, and you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. But getting that kind of focus is pretty much impossible if you lose control of the first few minutes of your day. So be honest, does this look a little familiar? The moment you wake up and grab your phone, you are literally handing over control of your day to other people's problems and priorities. You're starting your day by reacting, not by leading. Now, let's flip that on its head. A CEO starts the day with pure intention. Those first 30 minutes aren't for scrolling or checking emails. They're for creating clarity. This is the time to plan your day, think about what really matters, and get your mind ready for that one important task. You win the morning, you win the day. Simple as that. Okay, so you've got your priority, and you know how to focus. Awesome. But how do you make it consistent? Because, let's face it, you can't just rely on willpower. It comes and goes. That's where our third big idea comes in. You have to build systems that make doing the right thing almost automatic. So what do we even mean by a system? It's not as complex as it sounds. It's really just a routine, a process that you set up ahead of time so that making good choices becomes the default, easy option. When you automate those decisions, you save all your mental energy for the actual important work, and your focus goes way, way up.
And look, these systems can be ridiculously simple. For example, you could just block out 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. every single day for that focused, deep work. No meetings, no calls. Or you could decide that every day at 6 p.m., work is over. Done. No exceptions. When your day has that kind of predictable structure, your mind calms down. And a calm mind just works better and faster.
And finally, there's one system that kind of holds all the others together. It's the weekly review. Most of us make the same mistakes week after week just because we never stop to think about it. If you just take 15 minutes, that's it, 15 minutes on a Sunday, to ask these 3 simple questions, you can consciously get better. You'll see what to get rid of and what you should be doing more of.
Okay, let's pull all this logic together. Let's make it a super simple plan that you can literally start using today. It really all comes down to this one big idea. Time management is not about doing more stuff. It's about doing less, but doing it better. The goal is not to become some kind of productivity machine. It's to become a strategist, someone who picks the few things that really matter and just executes them flawlessly. CEOs aren't superheroes. They're just incredibly ruthless with their priority.
So here it is, the whole game plan, right here on one slide. Every day, just focus on one truly important task and commit to 2 focused deep work sessions. And every week, take a few minutes to review where your time went, and then actively decide to remove one habit that's just a waste. That's it. No complicated apps, no crazy spreadsheets, just pure, simple logic.
And that brings us to the end. You have the framework now. But, just knowing this stuff doesn't change anything. Doing it does. So my question for you is this. Don't try to change everything all at once. Just pick one thing. Which single rule from all of this are you going to apply starting today? Because that's how real change and real progress actually begins.